What's going on, everybody? Michael Anthony here today, and today we are in the beautiful state of Hawaii, and we are going to be photographing Jen, doing some behind the scenes for my first impression of the Fuji XH2. Now, you guys know that I've been a Fujifilm fan for a long time. My focus with Fuji has always been with the medium format platform, the GFX50S and the GFX100S, which we got a review coming out about in just a little bit. But this is the first time I'm going to be reviewing a APS-C camera. Now, I've been working with this camera for a little while, out in the field shooting weddings with it. The files are incredible, and I want you guys to be able to see how this camera performs when we are working with moving subjects and we're also working out in a harsh environment. You guys can see we're packing light here today. All we have is one camera. We're filming this on our phone. We don't have any lighting equipment at all, so we're gonna be working with the natural light. I'm gonna be going over some of the dynamic range, some of the highlights, the shadows, and all of that. So let's see how this camera performs. Let's go ahead and get into it now.
I gotta be honest, I never saw myself switching to an APS-C system just based on the perceived quality gap between full frame cameras and the older APS-C cameras that I started my photography journey with, like the Canon Rebels. That all changed after I bought my first Fujifilm APS-C camera, which was an X-T3, which I purchased shortly after buying a GFX50S because I fell in love with the Fujifilm colors, which have become a pretty big part of my overall aesthetic. Over the last 10 years, I have had a Fujifilm camera in my bag at almost at any given moment. While the X-T3 and the X-T4 left a lot to be desired, especially as a full-time wedding photographer, the XH2 and the XH2S have certainly filled that gap, and I'm really talking about ergonomics more than anything. The XH2 has a solid build quality with the magnesium alloy body and weather sealing, and it's a little bit larger and heavier than the X-T3 series and the X-T4 series, but honestly that's a good thing because it feels good in your hand, especially when you're holding it for long periods of time. The controls are well placed and they're easy to use, and the touchscreen is good and it's responsive as well. Now, the XH2 has a number of physical controls that are designed to make it easy to use quickly and efficiently. These include a dedicated ISO button, a shutter speed dial, and a mode dial, which allow you to get to your settings quickly and get to your shot without taking time away from your clients. Overall, the body and the ergonomics of the XH2 are excellent. The camera feels solid and durable, and the controls are well placed and easy to use. It's a great camera for photographers who are going to be using it for long periods of time, as it was designed for sports photography and I assume for wedding photography as well. I feel like this is a much better camera to use as a full-time wedding photographer specifically, because we keep these cameras in our hands for hours and hours on end, and this camera is going to be a lot more comfortable. But let's talk about image quality, because I know that that is something that a lot of you guys had questions about. The XH2 has a 40 megapixel APS-C sensor, which produces images with incredible detail and resolution. The colors are fantastic, as Fujifilm cameras usually are. The camera has a natural look, a ton of film simulations, and it's actually got really good dynamic range. And I'm not even going to say for an APS-C sensor, the camera actually has really good dynamic range, even for some full frame cameras. It's on par with my Canon R5 when you're talking about pulling detail out of the shadows. Now, this is an X-Trans sensor, meaning it uses a unique process to help the camera produce higher quality imagery despite the smaller sensor. So you get the benefits of better low light performance and dynamic range while weighing in at a third of the weight of a traditional full frame system. Now, for me, this is a huge benefit because I like to get my cameras above my head. I like to get down low and take crazy angles, and having a camera that I can manipulate one-handed is really, really important. This camera is a lot lighter than my Canon systems are. Now, when I pair this camera with something like a GFX100S on a wedding day, I can remain lightweight for the photojournalism parts of the day while having the ultra high quality imagery from the GFX when needed for portraits. I think these two cameras go very, very well hand in hand together. Next, let's talk about autofocus for a second, because this camera has just been updated by Fujifilm, and honestly, after the new updates, the camera has gone to another level of performance. It's fast and accurate, even when you're working in low light. The tracking is very good, and it can keep up with fast moving subjects, even when they're walking right at the camera. Now, I tend to keep this camera in continuous autofocus most of the time, and the new autofocus system is on par with the best Canon system that I have ever used, which I recently reviewed, and that was the Canon R3. Autofocus is no longer a weak point for Fujifilm cameras. They are on par with Canon and Sony in that regard. Now, the XH2 is also a great camera for video, although it's not really my area of expertise. I will say that if I were filming weddings rather than photographing them, Fujifilm would definitely be my go-to because of the balance of good image quality along with the lightweight nature of it in general. This camera has a lot of different modes. We recorded this video on it and in my last YouTube video as well. And we'll continue to use these cameras to capture our educational content for photographers as well. Now, overall, I'm really impressed with the XH2. It fills the line completely for me as a Fujifilm shooter. When I combine this with the GFX 100S, the XH2S, and now this higher resolution XH2, I'm able to get quality, speed, and accuracy in a variety of environments. And while I've been a Canon and Fuji hybrid shooter for many years, I gotta be honest with you, over the last 6 months, I find myself only reaching for my Fujifilm cameras because now I have a camera that really fills every single gap. I prefer the color of these cameras a lot better than Canon. And again, this is just an aesthetic preference. So, you know, your mileage may vary, but for me, I really love the Fujifilm colors and it's become, like I said, part of my aesthetic. But this is more of an in-depth conversation that can probably best be served in a future video. So for now, thanks for checking out this first impression video, and I will catch you on the next one.